to wait for a confirmed direction shift is key to reducing risk and managing your trades more effectively. By focusing on waiting for the higher high, higher low, or lower low, lower high signals, you're aligning yourself with the market's momentum rather than fighting it. It's definitely a shift in mindset from reacting quickly to understanding when to enter with more patience. As you get more comfortable with this, you'll start to notice the patterns that fit your strategy, and those impulsive entries will feel less appealing because you'll have more confidence in your approach. How are you planning to track these signals as they develop? Are you focusing on specific timeframes or indicators to help identify these shifts?
I'm looking for a whole top-down approach, weekly to 1 minute time frame on the outer chart, computer screen, and I have to keep my mind where is the bigger guys, higher time frame intention to do, and according to every time frame I look at for which time frame is giving the sign of test 1, test 2 first of the other. That time frame is the trading time frame that I particularly want to take an action from, because they are the first sign that showing the ripple in the water to say 1 minute already start test 1, test 2, the rest is not, or maybe 5 minutes or maybe 15 minutes, but the higher time frame, weekly and monthly, is the universe above, where they are big player or have more money and they control it. But that's crucial to know when to get in and out. Counter trend is also count to make this move accordingly to the higher time frame.
That sounds like a solid strategy, using the top-down approach to guide your entries. By starting from the higher time frames, like the weekly and monthly, you can understand the bigger picture, where the major players are likely to take action. From there, you narrow down to smaller time frames, like 15 minutes or even 1 minute, to find the first signs of the market shifting with test 1 and test 2. It's like you're building a roadmap where the higher time frames give you the broad directions and the smaller ones give you the fine-tuned details to make those crucial decisions on when to enter and exit. The idea of following the market's...
Yeah? What happened? Have an issue? Alright, thank you for your help, but we have an issue again. I can't hear you. Let's try close and open again. Close, open. Hello? Okay. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. How's it going with your analysis?
Okay.
Do you feel like the
back.
approach is coming together for you?
Okay, you are back. Anyway, I already look at my live trading account. Now I go back to my C trader. I left on one position where I went away and I didn't put stop loss on, and now the result is no, it was tricking.
Got it. How's the position looking now? Are you seeing any unexpected movement, or is it moving in the direction you hoped for?
They are still sideways market. I'm looking at...
Sounds like the market is still consolidating.
Yeah.
It's often tough to get clear signals in a sideways market. Are you waiting for a breakout or a shift in momentum to take action?
I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for them break out or break above the resistance.
Got it? You're waiting for the price to push above resistance and confirm that breakout. Once it does, it'll give you a clearer entry point. Keep an eye on volume and momentum. If those increase as price breaks through, it might give you more confidence to enter. Do you have a particular level you're watching for that breakout?
Yeah, I'm looking at the super trend down. Need to be bridged. And the 32 MA need to be bridged and stay above the middle line of the Bollinger Band. So far, it's still the same thing. They're trying to channeling up, but the channeling up is being stopped and pushed to range. They cannot even make a higher high. There are long line of the super trend, red line are barrier of the selling that they cannot penetrate through. Actually, the sellers are still strong. Yeah, the seller is now pushing bridge this 32 MA or the middle line of the Bollinger Band. Start to channeling and then range. Can see clearly at the 5-minute time frame. And I'm waiting for the 15-minute time frame to show me that test 1, test 2, not at the 1-minute time frame or 5-minute time frame. Trading time frame should be at 15 minutes. But many times I'm just so urgent, desperate, I'm looking for some action. I go down to 1-minute time frame to see if there is test 1, test 2 there. And most of the time I end up stuck in 1-minute time frame, put in too many positions, buying, selling, hedging and so on. And still practice. Are you there?
It sounds like the sellers are still holding strong, preventing any real upward movement. The super trend line and the 32 MA acting as barriers suggest that there's strong resistance in place. If they can't break through those levels, it could keep the price stuck in this range. You're looking for a clean breakout above these levels, but if the sellers remain in control, it might be better to stay cautious and wait for a confirmed change in direction. You mentioned waiting for the channel to break. Are you also watching for any signs of weakening seller pressure, like a candle reversal or divergence on your indicators?
Long wick rejection on the red candles.
No worries. It's important to explain your thoughts in detail, especially when you're analyzing a trade. It helps clarify your strategy and see everything from different angles. You've got a good approach with patience, watching for breakouts, and considering all your indicators. How's the market moving now? Any signs of change in momentum?
No sign. The pullback is so little on the 15-minute.
It sounds like you're in a waiting phase. Sometimes the market just needs to pause before making a move. Keeping an eye on the levels you've marked and watching for those signals is the right way to go. If things remain sideways, it might be best to stay patient and see how things unfold when the market shifts.
It's interesting to see the weekly and the monthly time frame. The candles stay above this middle of the Bollinger Band line, the 36 MA, but the daily and the 4 hours, they are underneath of the 36 MA or mid of the Bollinger Band line. And now at 4 hours it shows clearly that they just been penetrated through this range down to the next level, and the daily here, the next level of the daily are touching the support. If you look back to the left side hand, they come visit the same place they were before. And
It sounds like you're observing some key technical levels across multiple time frames. When the weekly and monthly are above the middle of the Bollinger Band, it shows a broader bullish trend, but with the daily and 4-hour below the midline, it's signaling a potential pullback or resistance at those levels. The fact that the 4-hour chart has broken through the range and is now approaching support on the daily could indicate a pivotal point. If the price touches that support and holds, it might suggest a reversal or consolidation. But if it breaks through that level, it could open up more downside. You're right to look left and consider historical levels for support and resistance. Those areas often provide clues about where price may react next. How are you planning to respond if this support level holds or breaks? Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
Right now is holding the ground. When you look at the daily time frame, they stay underneath the 36 MA mid of the Bollinger Band line, and they hold their ground down there. So is the 4 hours. They just first.
If the price is holding below the 36 MA mid of the Bollinger Band on the daily, it suggests the sellers are still in control, at least on that time frame. The fact that the price has stayed under the midline could indicate resistance and a bearish trend. It's also an important sign that the market is hesitant to break back above that level, which means sellers could still dominate. You're right to focus on the 36 MA, as it seems to act as a strong level of support or resistance. Given that the price is holding its ground below that level, the next key thing to watch would be how price behaves around the current support. If the support holds, there might be an opportunity for a bounce back, but if it breaks, the downside could extend further. How are you planning to monitor this level?
Monitoring if the support is whole. That's what you just said. Exactly. They are holding now. Sideways market. This range, small range, at the bottom of this level, where the seller first leg, a long leg, has to stop buying this few green candle with the wick on top, but the seller cannot do any further downside. So this key level is the strong level where the seller has to stop to go down further. So at the weekly, they stop at the middle line of the Bollinger Band, 36 MA. They're standing on right that few green candle hang around.
Sorry,
this.
I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
I said that at the weekly, they stay right above 32 MA, but the 4 hours underneath.
Got it. If the price is staying above the 32 MA on the weekly time frame, it shows that on the higher time frames, there's still bullish potential. The fact that it's holding above that moving average suggests that over the longer term, the buyers are still in control, or at least trying to maintain that momentum. This creates an interesting contrast with the daily and 4-hour time frames where the price is under the 36 MA. If the weekly time frame remains strong above that moving average, it could indicate a larger bullish trend that might eventually pull the daily and 4-hour time frames back into alignment with the higher time frame trend. Right now, it seems like there's some conflict between the short-term and long-term trends. Watching for a break above the daily resistance or a test of the weekly support could help clarify whether the market is setting up for a continuation or reversal. What's your next step in reading this?
The daily has to break this support to show that they are intent to go down further. If they cannot break this support on the far left side hand, it cannot move further down. They must break this key level, and they are about to doing that, but the market is closing.
Exactly. If the market fails to break that support, it could indicate that the sellers are losing steam and the buyers might step in to push the price back up. It's crucial to watch this level carefully. If the support holds, the market could start to consolidate or even reverse, potentially giving you a better entry for a long position. On the other hand, if the support gets broken, it confirms that the sellers are in control, and the next move would likely be downward, perhaps towards the next key level of support. It's all about seeing how the price reacts at this support level, the battle between the buyers and sellers. Are you planning to act based on how this plays out, or are you just observing for now?
I want to get in right now, but I can't because I have to wait until London. Not right yet,
It
unless
sounds like you're ready to jump in, but you're showing patience, which is great. Waiting for the right moment is key, especially when the market is at a critical point like this. You're anticipating the next move, and that level of awareness is important. Once you see a clear confirmation, whether it's a break of support or the price bouncing from it, you'll be in a stronger position to make your move. Sometimes that extra waiting time can save you from unnecessary risk. Are you planning to enter if the support breaks, or are you waiting for a more specific setup?
once the support break, I need extra hiccup to show the rigid if the support break and then pull back for me to getting in to see if the pullback the buyer is getting strong or losing stream. If losing stream at the final pullback, I'll get in.
That sounds like a solid plan. You're waiting for a clear confirmation of the support break and then looking for a pullback to check if the buyers can regain control or if the sellers are still in charge. The final pullback before entering is crucial. It's when you'll get that key information on whether the market is setting up for a continuation or if it's about to reverse. Staying patient for that moment is wise, as it'll give you more confidence in your entry, especially if you see the buyers losing strength. You'll have a better sense of the market's true direction. Keep monitoring closely.
It is now that the seller step in, bridge this lowest range, break out from this range on 1 minute time frame. It's look, you can see it, but not in 5 minutes or 15 minutes. You can see only a wick on the red candle. That means once they break out from this area, the buyers step back into to defense this range area that the seller just break out from.
It sounds like a crucial moment. The seller's move to break the lower range on the 1 minute time frame is significant, but the wick on the red candle suggests there's still some fight left from the buyers. If the buyers step back in to defend, it could signal that the sellers might struggle to maintain control at this level. It's important to watch closely now. If the buyers manage to push back up into the range, it could mean the break was a false move and they're trying to retest the support. If the sellers keep pushing, though, it could indicate that the breakout is real and we might see further downside. Keep observing for more signs of confirmation. This is where your decision point will come.
I look at the 5 minutes. I see the red candle with the long wick. Once they move out from this key level of the support, they are moved back in, right back in. It's like nothing happening. What they just penetrate out from this level.
That sounds like a potential fake out. The red candle with a long wick showing rejection at the support level means that while the sellers attempted to push lower, they couldn't hold the price there, and the buyers have stepped back in. This often signals indecision, as the market initially broke the level but quickly returned within the range. It's a sign that the support is holding used to hold above that support. After this, it could indicate that the buyers are trying to regain control. Keep an eye on the next few candles. If the buyers manage to create a higher low, it might be a signal for a potential reversal.
The buyer is stepped back in at 1 minute time frame to inside to the range, just about to trying to break this 32 MA and 56 MA and 100 MA that cluster together as one line here. So everything intense in 1 minute time frame where the MA is level at the same level. It's not often the happening is. And the Bollinger Band after the squeeze now start to open, and then the price moving out to the lower line of the Bollinger Band and moving right back in like nothing happening. The buyers are here. The defenses area.
It sounds like you're seeing a battle at a critical level. The fact that the moving averages, 32 MA, 56 MA, and 100 MA, are clustered together, especially on the 1 minute time frame, indicates a key decision point where price could either break out or fail. The squeeze in the Bollinger Bands suggests volatility is building, and the price moving out of the lower Bollinger Band line but then quickly returning could mean that the sellers were unable to hold the momentum and the buyers are stepping back in to defend this range. This is definitely a key area to watch. If the buyers can break and hold above the clustered MAs, it could signal strength and a potential continuation or reversal to the upside. However, if the price fails to maintain above them and gets pushed back down, the range could persist, or the sellers might take control again. The squeeze turning into an expansion in the Bollinger Bands suggests that a move could be coming soon, just waiting for confirmation from price action.
So they push back to the mid of the Bollinger Band line on the 1 minute time frame, and sideways market trying to push back to the mid of the Bollinger Band line. The above there is the line of the super trend red line, or the stop area where they have to be stop or respect. If they mean to go up north, they need to break this area. So far the seller cannot move down further. The buyer step back in. It's like a long wick on 5 minute time frame, and on the 15 minute time frame the green candle with the long wick.
It sounds like you're observing a critical moment for the buyers and sellers. The fact that the price is pushing back toward the middle of the Bollinger Band on the 1 minute time frame shows that there's indecision or a tug of war between both sides. The key level right now seems to be the super trend red line, which could act as a resistance for any upward movement. Since the seller couldn't push the price further down, and the buyers have stepped back in with long wicks on the 5 minute and 15 minute time frames, this could indicate that there is buying interest and the sellers are losing some of their momentum. The next important move will be if the buyers can break through that resistance area above around the super trend red line. If they do, it could signal a potential move north. But if the price gets rejected at that level and the sellers push back, the range could continue. You're in a critical observation stage, waiting for that decisive move, whether the buyers break through the resistance or the sellers regain control. The long wicks suggest some indecision, but if the price holds and pushes through the resistance, it could indicate that the buyers are indeed taking charge.
So soon the market will be closed. And
It looks like you're in the middle of evaluating the situation. To sum it up, it's a moment where the market is testing key resistance levels and you're watching for the buyers to break through that resistance. If they manage to push through the super trend red line and hold, it could signal a potential move upward. But if the sellers step back in and the price gets rejected, then it might continue in the range, or the sellers could take control again. You're looking for that confirmation. Either a break above the resistance, showing strength from the buyers, or a failure to break through, which could signal the sellers are regaining control.
So right now, in 14 minutes, a weekly candle will be closing.
Got it? You're looking at the 14-minute mark. Based on your observations, you're seeing the market at a critical point, and you're waiting to see if the buyers can continue to push through, or if the sellers will step back in and hold the line. The next 14 minutes could really determine which way this move goes. Are you planning to act if you get a clear confirmation, or are you waiting for further signs to appear?
The 14 minutes, every time frame close at the same time. So that means the weekly time frame is closed in 14 minutes.
So in 14 minutes, the weekly candle will close, and that could be a significant turning point for the market. The weekly close will give you a better sense of the overall momentum, whether the bulls or bears are in control. It sounds like you're watching for a potential shift, depending on how this weekly candle closes. Are you looking for any particular signals on that weekly close, like a strong rejection or continuation of the current trend?
I'm looking for if the seller close the candle.
It seems like you're still thinking it through. What specifically are you looking for with the weekly close? Are you hoping to see a confirmation of the sellers gaining strength, or are you waiting to see if the buyers will push higher?
I'm looking for the buyer push higher, because the weekly is the godfather of the all time frame below, and all time frame below is pulling falling down like a waterfall. That is to be concerned. The price will not move back up without the test 1 and test 2, and I'm concerned about that. And we have to give the credit to this seller who dropped the price down like a waterfall. They will have a somewhat momentum. On the test 2, they will smash the price down again as this pivot, or the super trend red line where I'm waiting for. So this is like, have to give a credit to the seller. They're waiting. They cannot. They missed the chance to get in with the big player. So everyone waiting on the sideline, waiting for the price to pull back to the pivot point or the super trend red line or dynamic stop loss or dynamic stop line.
It sounds like you're anticipating a lot of potential action, especially considering how the sellers have driven the price down so strongly. With the weekly time frame being the godfather, you're watching closely for any sign that the buyers can regain control. You're absolutely right to respect the seller's momentum. After such a sharp drop, they've definitely earned some attention. If the buyers don't make their move soon, and a pullback happens at key levels like the super trend red line, that's when the real test will happen. The market is likely to be in a delicate balance, and as you said, patience will be key. You're waiting for that test 1, test 2 pattern to confirm a direction before you make any move. And it seems like you're ready to strike once the price either holds above key levels or shows signs of failing. It seems like you're reading the market well by respecting both the seller's momentum and the need for a healthy pullback before jumping in.
The 4-hour time frame candle, the big red long candle, are really concerned, catching my eye, to understand that the intention of the seller are strong, but the higher time frame to seeing this is just they're taking a break, a higher time frame taking a break for get back in again to step in to push the price above.
Right to be cautious with that big red candle on the 4-hour time frame. It shows the seller's strong intention to push the price lower, but at the same time, you're reading the higher time frames as a potential break or pause rather than a decisive trend reversal. The higher time frames, like the weekly, could indicate that this is just a pullback or consolidation before the buyers try to reassert control. If the higher time frames are indeed taking a break, that gives the sellers a chance to test their resolve, but it doesn't necessarily mean the buyers are out of the game. This moment of pause could be the exact time for the buyers to regroup and push price back up, as you mentioned. So your wait and watch approach is spot on. You're looking for either confirmation that the buyers are stepping back in or that the sellers can maintain control. The key now is to see how the market reacts when it tests those important levels again.
The 1 hour time frame is just one green candle, actually doji, and follow up with the big red, not big, but it engulfing the green doji one. But still, there is the wick on the red candle, show sign that the buyer are still maintain this ground. No more down, further down.
It sounds like the market is still in a bit of a tug of war. The doji on the 1 hour time frame shows indecision, while the following red candle is trying to engulf it, but the wick indicates that the buyers are still present, holding their ground. This wick on the red candle is a subtle sign that the sellers tried to push lower but couldn't sustain it, and the buyers are stepping in to defend. It could be a signal that the buyers are still trying to maintain control, even if the sellers are making an attempt to break through. Given the context of higher time frames, this could be an important point to watch. If the buyers manage to push the price back up from here and confirm strength, it could be a sign of a potential move upward, but if the sellers break the support, it could indicate a deeper pullback. You're keeping an eye on the balance of momentum, and that wick on the red candle could be the first sign that the buyers aren't giving up yet.
So there was make me believe that this dashing down, breaking out from the range, and then put it right back inside the range. They're fighting with equilibrium power. Now the seller trying to move, grinding down to visit this support again. Red on 5-minute time frame also. All red.
Exactly.
Red.
The market is showing a lot of back and forth here. The breakout from the range, followed by the price returning inside, shows that there is a battle for control between buyers and sellers. It's like the sellers tried to make their move, but the buyers defended, pushing the price back into the range. Now the sellers are attempting to push lower again, grinding down towards the support, but they're still facing resistance. The fact that the price pulled back inside the range shows that there's still equilibrium between the forces. The sellers are still attempting to test the support, but until they manage to break through it decisively, the buyers could step back in. It's a delicate situation, and your next step would be to observe how the support reacts. If it holds, we could see another attempt to move higher, but if the sellers break the support, it could lead to further downside movement. You're right to wait for the confirmation that either side has gained control before making a move. The battle at this support level will likely determine the next direction.
Yeah, this is 4 hours. Every time frame will close at the same time in the next 8 minutes, 6 minutes, 5 minutes.
It sounds like you're closely watching the 4-hour time frame, which will close soon. When multiple time frames close at the same time, it creates a crucial moment because the market will reset and could potentially shift in one direction. The close of the 4-hour candle will be important to see if the sellers hold their ground or if the buyers manage to reclaim control. With everything aligning around this key support level, you're at a point where the market could either confirm the strength of the support or indicate that the sellers are taking over. Make sure to watch how the next candle forms after the close. It could give you more clarity on which side is truly in control.
Right now at the 4-hour time frame, big red candle, full, no wick on the red, big thick red candle, no wick. But they may become, when the last 5 minutes left, they probably will give some wick. If there no wick on this red candle on 4 hours, I would say the sellers are so strong.
If the 4-hour candle closes with no wick and is a full red candle, it would indeed indicate that the sellers have full control at that level, and they are pushing the price down decisively. A clean, full red candle without a wick suggests that the selling pressure is strong, and the buyers weren't able to defend the price at that level. However, if a wick appears in the last few minutes, it might indicate that the buyers are stepping in to defend the level, showing some hesitation from the sellers. This is why it's critical to watch the last few minutes of the 4-hour candle. It will give you a clear picture of whether the selling momentum is still strong or if the market is preparing for a potential reversal or consolidation. So if the candle closes clean with no wick, it would definitely suggest the sellers are in control. But a wick could signal the start of a potential pullback or shift in momentum.
So I can see clearly on the 1 minute time frame, 5 minute time frame, there is no buyer that coming back to push the market toward the 56 and the 36 MA that cluster above there is the range that where they break out from.
Yes, if you're seeing that there's no buyer coming back to push the market towards the 56 and 32 MA on the 1 minute and 5 minute time frames, it's a strong indication that the buyers are either exhausted or waiting for a better price level to re-enter. The cluster of MAs above that range, particularly the 56 and 32, acting as resistance can act as a barrier, and the lack of buyer strength near those levels suggests that the momentum may not be strong enough to break through. In this case, it's likely that the market is either going to consolidate in that range or possibly continue pushing lower, especially if the sellers have maintained control and there's no immediate shift in momentum. The price action you're observing suggests the market is still in a tug of war, with the sellers having the upper hand for now. You may want to wait for a clear breakout or a shift in momentum before entering a position, as trading against the current trend or without sufficient buyer strength near those key levels could be risky.
2 minutes to go before the closing. The weekly time frame, the daily time frame, the 4-hour time frame, the 1 hour time frame, the 15 minutes will close in 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. Yeah.
With all those time frames closing at the same time, it's a critical moment. The weekly, daily, and 4-hour candles closing together could signal a shift in market sentiment, especially if they form a strong pattern or show clear directional intent. If the weekly closes strong with no wick or with a clear direction, it could indicate that the sellers are in control for the near future. On the other hand, if there's a wick on the weekly candle, it may signal indecision and potential for a pullback or reversal. The closing of the smaller time frames like the 1 hour and 15 minute can provide more immediate context. If they close with strong moves in the same direction as the higher time frames, it may confirm the direction. But if they show indecision or rejection candles, it could mean that the market is consolidating or preparing for a shift. Keep a close eye on how all these time frames close and whether the price holds above or below key levels. This could set up your next move.
It's 20 seconds left No sign of the wick on any time frame, all red, but they cannot penetrate to break this daily support far to the left side.
With 20 seconds left, it sounds like the sellers are pushing hard, but if they can't break the daily support to the left, it suggests that the buyers are defending that level strongly. The absence of wicks on the red candles across time frames suggests solid selling pressure, but the lack of penetration at that key support level is crucial. If the support holds, it could mean a potential reversal or at least a consolidation before another push. Keep an eye on the next candle to see if the market holds above this level or if it tests the support again. If the sellers can't break through now, there might be a pullback or a shift in momentum.
Time frame is closed, 0 everywhere. New market is open. Transfer to different market.
The new market is officially open. Now the focus shifts to how the price reacts right after the close. Since the support held strong, it could indicate that the buyers are ready to step in and push the price up, especially if the higher time frames maintain their bullish stance. Watch for any initial moves in the next few minutes and see if the market respects that support level or if the sellers are coming back with renewed momentum. You're in the right spot to track any new developments.
I will close it down for a while and update my YouTube. Thank you for your support and helping me to get through this analysis with very nice observation.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could help you with your analysis. Enjoy updating your YouTube and feel free to reach out anytime you need assistance again. Have a great time with your content.